President Obama will present a second State of the Union address tonight. He's lost most of the momentum he had a year ago. While he isn't expected to give up his major policy initiatives, he is expected to offer plans to jumpstart the economy and create jobs. How are Republicans planning to respond? A short time ago, David interviewed Congressman Cliff Stearns, who represents much of North Central Florida in Congress.
Well, the president is talking tonight about a spending freeze, Congressman Stearns, and some small business tax cuts. Now, isn't this a good start towards trying to balance the budget?
Let me first of all commend the president for doing that. I think most of Americans are concerned about the deficit. They're concerned about the spending, the bailouts. So I think the president is wise to address the budget. This freeze is a good idea for 3 years. The only problem is it's only on about 12% of the discretionary spending. It does not include Department of Defense, does not include the veterans, does not include Homeland Security. And of course, Medicare and Medicaid and Social Security are mandatory spending, so obviously they're not included. So he's making a very small step. But I commend the president for doing it, and I think symbolically he's saying that the deficit is important. And I think to our European and Asian countries that are buying our debt, it should help to firm up a little bit of the dollar on the world market.
Well, realistically, now that the Senate, the Democrats in the Senate can't invoke cloture, now that Scott Brown is the new senator, or will be, from Massachusetts, is there any realistic chance that any kind of health reform can be passed by this Congress now?
I think there is. I think, frankly, there's parts of the bill that a lot of Republicans could support, and I think a lot of, shall we say, Democrats who are on the fence could. For example, I think the idea of buying insurance across state lines is something that almost everybody would agree. Tort reform is another one. Obviously, if you allow states the ability to set up some type of exchange program, that's states' rights. I think some Republicans could agree letting the state of Florida, which has already moved in that direction, to set up an exchange program. So I think there's lots of ideas that we can come together. I think the president's just got to understand he's got to bring in Republicans in to pass this bill.
I wonder if the president tonight should propose the government try again to create more jobs.
Well, that's another thing I think will be in the speech. In addition to talking about controlling the deficit, creating more jobs, the president's talking about tax advantages and grants for small businesses, which I think is good. But also, I think he's got to think in terms of how do we help people that now have jobs stay in those jobs. For example, teachers. The stimulus package helped the teachers. But we don't have a stimulus package this year, so is it possible a lot of those teachers in North Central Florida will be laid off? So I think we need some kind of incentives for states to make sure that teachers don't lose jobs and other people don't lose jobs, because that would be compounding the problem we have today.